this Shabbat is Parshat Toldot. Parshat Toldot introduces us to two characters. One is Esau, and the other is Jacob. The story is that Rebekah wants to be pregnant, and so Isaac goes and beseeches God to allow her to bear a child, and his prayer is good, because he doesn't just result in one child, there's twins. And the twins are striving together in Rebekah's womb, and she is in such distress that she says, Lama ze anochi? If this is going to be the case, why do I even exist? And so the commentators take a look at this, and they try to understand what's going on in Rebekah. I was taught in rabbinical school by my teacher, Rabbi Lawrence Kushner, that when you get close to a true paradox, you are pretty close to the Holy One. Because it is only in God that two things that are diametrically opposed can both be true at the same time. So, have you ever had an experience where you were happy and sad all at once? So, this Thanksgiving, we were blessed to have one of our three children at home, but our two other children are off doing other things. One is with his girlfriend's family in Denver, because it was easier to get there, and it was their turn. And the other is in the midst of service through AmeriCorps, and they are in the farthest reaches of Washington State, about as far from Boca Raton as you can get without going to Alaska. And so having her come home wasn't going to work either. And so on the one hand, I was pretty sad, because I would love to have our whole family together for the holiday. On the other hand, I'm kind of happy because I know that the two of them are doing things that are bringing them a lot of fulfillment and joy. So if you have two things going on that are diametrically opposed, that make you feel different things at the same time, and they're both true, then it's only in God that two things that are diametrically opposed can both be true. And we see this going on in Rebekah. You have these two forces, one which will be Jacob, the other which will be Esau, two nations that are striving together that will be in conflict. And in many ways, there are lots and lots of things that are going on in Rebekah as well that are in conflict, as there are often in ourselves. In the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, the two lower sefirot are called Netzach and Hod. Netzach means drive, and Hod, as we've learned, means awe or appreciation. Netzach is the root of the word nitzachon, which means victory. And Hod is more like standing back in awe and wonder. So what happens if your being, your soul, is only Netzach and you have no Hod? Well, then you probably accomplish great things. You probably are able to do wondrous achievements, but you never really stop and smell the roses. What happens if your soul only has Hod, but no Netzach? Well, you walk around and you're like, whoa, that's so cool. I forgot to eat today because I didn't remember that there are things I need to accomplish, right? We need these things in balance. We need these different drives, because if there's a part of us that never makes us try to accomplish anything, we never accomplish anything. And if we don't have that part of us that makes us stand back in awe and wonder, we kind of miss the reason why we're trying to accomplish anything at all. But these two different drives that live in us are often wrestling with us. Have you ever had that experience where your Netzach was saying, you should go and do this, you should go and do this, and then there's the Hod part of you that says, please, just take a breath. Relax, look around. It's all good. And figuring out how we balance those things is hard. And God understood that. Because God gave us this thing called Shabbat to temper that Netzach part of us. And it's hard. How many of you sometimes say, I would observe Shabbat, but I've got so much to do. I've got so many things to accomplish. I've got errands to run. I've got things that I haven't finished doing during the week, and I need that Saturday to get all those other things done. But then if you never observe Shabbat, if you never have that moment of rest, you may find that you got all those things done, you had no idea what you got them done for. These things that are wrestling in Rebekah are causing her anguish to ask a fundamental question. If this is the case, then why do I exist? And the answer that we seem to see the Holy One giving to her is, you exist to live within that struggle. You exist to give birth to that struggle, to teach the world that we have to constantly find ways to balance those things that are in conflict. Because there is too much temptation in our world to resolve things by making someone win and something else lose. That we think that the only way we can have peace is if this side triumphs over that side, if I can vanquish my enemy so it's just me. And what I think God is trying to teach us also through Rebekah is that there are constantly going to be forces in our world that are in conflict, that are in strife. And our mission is not to resolve them by erasing one of them. Our mission is to figure out how to resolve that conflict by learning how to live with both of them. Shabbat Shalom.